Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Shock. I'm your host, Trish Gillis, and today I'm doing an old school video to return here. Gonna be talking about a film recommended to me, or opposite of recommended, like I was warned about this movie from Space Ghost Andy when he came on for Spooky Celluloid Knives podcast, The Open Casket, to talk about Alien Beast. He also mentioned a film that he said was the worst thing he'd ever seen, or one of the worst films ever made. It's called After Last Season. It is a 2009 film, directed, written, and produced by Mark Regin. I don't believe he made anything else away from this, or he made maybe smaller things. But anyway, supposedly this is a film that had a $5 million budget, which is something that I want to mention going into this. This film has a whopping 1.6 out of 10 on IMDb, out of 10 with 8.3 thousand ratings, and is a film with a plot that I'm going to let IMDb describe for me because I'm going to tell you why. So, IMDb list says two neurology students create a telepathy experiment together to visualize a murderer who has recently knifed another student. Where to even begin with this? Okay, so I've seen After Last Season twice now. I am probably the only person on the planet that has watched this more than once. Um, this is not a so bad that it's good movie. This is a movie that is so magnificently inept that I legitimately cannot recommend it to anybody. Yet I've seen it twice. The plot is borderline non-existent. Let's just put that out there first here. Um, the two-sentence IMDb description. That's about it. Most of the film takes place in a single room. It's poorly lit. There's cardboard everywhere that's supposed to be the makeup of the room. And it's mostly people just with their eyes closed, imagining things, and the imagining that's happening is like animated. But it looks like it was animated like the most primitive animation studio ever, despite being in the late 2000s. Um, Looks absolutely horrible. This imagined pipes like the um, Windows screensaver. Take that. That's about what it looks like, and that's about 80% of the movie. The other 20% is people saying dialogue that feels like they're saying a lot, but they're not saying anything. This is a film that very much feels like an alien was given a, like, they asked what a movie was, and they were told, well, as actors, a set and a story. Mark Regin pretty much just did that. He's like, well, this has to be a movie because it has actors, a story, um, and a set. But he didn't know how to do anything with any of those. The acting this is so far beyond wooden that it almost seems like inhuman. Um, I've seen people say this is what David Lynch looks like to people that hate David Lynch. I can definitely see that. Um, but there is a strange draw to this movie, I suppose. Um, there's a reason why this movie has maintained almost a sort of cult following after reading about this over the years. Um, Unlike Alien Beast, which is this like completely technologically inept in every way and is just, you know, scenes are drawn out. This one is like one scene completely drawn out, and the direction is fine, I suppose. But you can tell Mark Regin really wanted to make something special here, and he legitimately really tried. Like, this is a movie that is beyond awful, but you can genuinely tell that he at least tried. This is not self aware in the slightest. Mark Regin certainly thinks to this day that he has made a genuine masterpiece, and maybe it is. Maybe it's too big brain for me, and decades down the road we're going to look at this as some like lost art. I don't think so. But I have never seen a film that is more pretentious than this film, but it has no right to be. Um, the dialogue in this movie, there is nothing quotable because this is literally just like stream of conscious thoughts that the actors are saying. I don't know how much of this is even written. It's like Mark Regin says, say the most confusing nonsense dialogue ever, and it seems like when the actors are talking to each other, the dialogue does not line up. Like if they ask a question, they just move on and they talk about a completely unrelated topic. Um, and since nobody's gonna watch this piece of shit movie in the first place, I'm gonna put some spoilers here. There's a part where there's like a ghost, or the killer is like invisible in some other dimension and is like moving boxes and stuff around, and you can see wires, but there's also no music during this part, so it's like a box slides around the ground, and instead of having like a dramatic like sound effect there's just complete silence, and it's just bizarre. It is not so bad that it's funny, but you have to sort of like admire, like, this film is so completely unlike anything else that it almost becomes admirable. But this movie is incredibly boring. um why have I seen this twice? The second time I literally watched this to fall asleep. This is like a film that feels like a fever dream, where you're living in the dream of someone else, but that person's like a librarian and they have really boring dreams. So yeah, it's a film that like made me think about what was Mark Regin's intention behind this. What is this film supposed to be about? Um, and I've been thinking about it for a couple weeks now. Um, and I'll probably watch this thing a third time. Um, yeah, it's just so bizarre. I can't overstate how bizarre this is, and it's not a film that I can just write off as being stupid. It's just, it's like Mark Regins didn't like break past barriers of film or just like do things below standard. It's just like Mark Regins has never seen a film, so he just ignored every standard of filmmaking while making this film. I'd honestly love to see another Mark Regin movie, because this is a bizarre, wonky movie. It's god awful. I will probably watch it a third time. Why? Because I hate myself. If you hate yourself, watch After Last Season. I'm sure this is a film that eventually will be covered on the podcast way down the road after I've mentally recovered. Um, but yeah, uh, this is like, it's a hard film to review because it's bad, but it's also like, I can't say that it's bad in a way because it's just like, it's not even really a conventional film. It's like a bizarre, dreamlike art piece that makes no sense. But anyway, that's it for After Last Season. I'm going to try to wash my hands of this movie for at least a little while. Keep your notifications on. I'm going to be posting new stuff, new podcast with Matt from Sick on Cinema coming later this week. Recording tomorrow, but have to do some stuff there. So, um, yeah. Sorry for being gone for so long. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on, as I said. And as always, been your host, Joshua Gillis, signing off for today. 0 thoughts, 0 editing, 0 brain cells, and 0 planning. This is the worst film ever made on a traditional level. So, if you're a trash cinema fan or somebody that wants to see the weirdest thing ever, go give this a watch. But I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.